Listen to me, please. Nobody has the right to affect this realm except as he has tapped into a knowledge and an understanding. Everything you see happening on earth is a crystallization of mysteries, is a crystallization of a kind of understanding. Manifestations actually come to give texture to spiritual understanding. Without an understanding in a particular sphere of operation, you have no authority. In fact, your authority is predicated on your understanding. Any area you lack understanding, you are a slave. And the moment you gain light, you become a commander. This one is not given, it's taken. There are many things you expect to receive, but when you have understanding, you take. You don't expect to receive. It naturally confers power over you. Because the way the system is designed is that light rules over darkness. And so anyone who is in possession of light and understanding becomes a ruler in the realms of darkness. And darkness is the force that subjugates humanity. In John chapter 1 from verse 1, he spoke about Christ, and he told us the reason why he had so much authority on earth that no power could stop him. He said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He said the same was with him in the beginning. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. And he said in him was life. And he said that life was actually the source of light. So he produced light from within himself. It is by reason of that light that he had authority to create. And you won't understand this until you trace it back to Proverbs. And so Proverbs, you'll find wisdom that is also a reflection of a light speaking. And he said, I was with him before the deep was created. He said it was by me that all things were created. So what gave him the power to be creator is the quality of light he carries. And that's why when God wants a man to step into the realms of invention, what he does is that he gives him light. He gives him understanding. He said, I have put my spirit upon Bezalel and Oholiab to create witty invention. So when a man gains light, he becomes an inventor. When a man gains light, he becomes a co-creator with God. And the moment you start inventing and creating, you cannot be ignored in your generation. Because everything that comes out of you becomes the solution to human affliction. Because light is the mother of inventions. And anyone who is an inventor is a ruler in his generation. You may sit here and think it will take 30 years for me to move from one level to another. Catch light and see the speed that will come to your life. You will be shocked that the people who claim they are busy are not busy. They are only working with those who matter. The moment you catch light, the busiest man will look for you. He will wait for you. He will sit with you, and he will do anything you want him to do, because light confers dominion. In Job 29 verse 4, he said, as I was in the days of my youth, not when I was old, when the secrets of God was upon my tabernacle. He said, by light I walk through darkness. By light I walk through darkness. So he gained dominion to rule over darkness. And the point came, Job said, he plunged his legs in oil, and he said the rocks poured out rivers unto him. He was living in abundance. He was living in plenty. He became a ruler, not because he did anything. He just caught light. The moment a man catches light, he becomes a dominion automatically wherever he finds himself. And speed becomes natural to him. Your speed is a function of the brightness of your light. Did you not read what the Bible said in Isaiah 60 from verse 1? It said, arise, shine. He said, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. And he made a striking statement. He didn't say your brothers. Your brothers can come to you because of blood. Your brothers can support you because of family bond. But he said Gentiles. People that have no connection with you. They don't even believe what you believe. They don't care your existence. In fact, if they had the opportunity, they will kill you. He said, but Gentiles shall come to thy light. And you think that is where the beauty is. And he said, no, not only Gentiles. Why others are looking for kings, he said they are those kings look for. He said kings come to the brightness of your rising. And so there are many people today that kings look for, because when they speak, they can shape the kingdom. When they speak, they can change the stories of men. The quality of light they carry is so much that they cannot be ignored. Even in this dark world, have you not seen that men who have a light that comes from darkness are able to create one or two things, and anywhere they go to is presidents that receive them? Any nation, not because they are handsome. Meanwhile, this is a generation where people are spending time to look handsome. There's nothing wrong with looking handsome, but if there's no light in you, If you like, let all the hair on your eyelashes be trimmed off. If you like, let your muscle be as big and your shirt is almost torn. Nobody will care about you. The best you will get from there is medical value, that your health will improve. But you see, you can't impact your generation like that. And so everybody must search for light. Everybody must pursue light, because in it is the power for dominion, and in it is the key for acceleration. But unfortunately, not many have light. Very few have access to light. Light can activate your propensities. There are things in you that you are not aware of. You don't know that the answer to the crisis of health is in you, but it will be dormant. You don't know that currently in you is a wisdom that can shape a territory until light comes. The moment light comes, it shines on you and it awakens potentials that you never knew existed. And so light is a key for dominion. The problem is many are not pressing into it. Listen, if you have light, even amongst your enemies, they will celebrate you. People don't celebrate you because they love you. Only naive people think so. It is the light you carry they celebrate. When you come to a place and they are shouting, don't make the mistake of thinking they love your appearance. It's what you carry they are celebrating. The day that light goes down, you will come and say, my name is Michael. They will say, and so what? You say, I'm the one who came here yesterday. Yes, so what do you want me to do about it? But when light is shining, if they hear that you are around, they want to hug you, they want to serve you, they want to, even them don't know what is going on, because you carry something. Did you not read about Daniel? Daniel was in Babylon. They were slaves, they were eunuchs. When they came to Babylon, they gathered all of them together and circumcised them to serve in the king's palace as servants. But suddenly they discovered there was something about this man. They carried a light that made them different from mortals. In fact, when the hidden queen wanted to give Daniel's credentials, he said, in him is the spirit of the Holy Ghost. He said, light and understanding is in this man, and he has the ability to explain hard sentences. All of a sudden, a man that was circumcised, is it circumcised? Castrated to be a servant. The Bible said the king thought to make him the president of all the realms. What moved him from a servant to become the president of the realm? What moved him from a servant to becoming a prince is the light that he carried. He was sold out as a slave. In slavery, he was a servant, and he was a castrated servant. But when the light in him began to beam, even the king could not ignore him. And Bible history tells us that Daniel was relevant in Babylon for 65 years. They couldn't deny the man's impact. He was a lord in the land of captivity. He could walk to the king and give his counsel, and the king would hear. How about Joseph that was in prison? A man that was accused and called a rapist. He was actually thrown into the dungeon. There was no hope there. He was supposed to rot there forever. But while he was yet in the dungeon, they started seeing light. They started seeing something beam out of him that nobody had. And all of a sudden, that light took him out of there. That light moved him from there to the king's palace. And the Bible said, when he was done talking to the king said, there is no one in your class. He said, according to your word, let the nation be ruled. In fact, when the psalmist was giving us more details in Psalm 105 verse 17, he said he sent a man before them, even Joseph, whom they sold for a servant. He said his feet was bound with fetters until the time that his word came. The word came after the light shined. And he said the king sent for to lose him, even the ruler of the people. He made him lord of his house and ruler of his household. He gave him power to teach his senators wisdom and to bind his princes at his pleasure. How can a prisoner suddenly have authority to put chains in the hand of princes? Princes that are of the nobles. A prisoner can determine if a prince should go to jail. What imparted that level of authority? There was a light. When he gave the king counsel, he said there was no one in your class. All of a sudden, they sent for the daughters of the high priest. Say, come, marry the choicest virgins in this land. They gave him the ring of the king, and he entered the chariot immediately. A man that was in prison can enter a chariot and begin to rule. And it was from that realm of authority that he saved the world. A point came, even the children of God who didn't have light, they had to come to Egypt. Because you can be a child of light, but you are not walking by light. And if Joseph didn't catch light, the covenant would have been at stake. They had to look for, see, if you have light, even if you are in the hidden kingdom, they will look for you there. They will find you. They had to leave the land of promise and go and look for the carrier of light in Egypt and met him there, and he preserved them for a season because of what he carried. Light is a key for dominion and for acceleration, but too many persons have no light.